Yo, what is good, everybody? Today we are playing the 2015 Ernie track. I've been waiting for this to be released for a little bit now, and I'm so psyched that it is finally out. This track is absolutely amazing. There's just too many good things to say about it, truly. Like, it's such a good track. As you can see here, it is very there's a lot of elevation with this track, ups and downs. It flows really nice. There's a lot of good sized jumps, a lot of uphills, a lot of downhills, a lot of tight turns, a lot of cool stuff. The track deforms really well. I have deformation on about 2.5, I think, right now is what I'm running for the deformation. And as you can see, like from this, the track deforms super well. It is a little bit jagged right there, but when you're riding, you can't really tell that. Where's the good hill over here? This berm is deformed crazy. Like, this track is just amazing. It's not a very high-speed track. It's definitely a super technical track. There, you can get very frustrated when riding this track because it is very technical, but it's super fun. It builds a lot of skill too, riding this track. It's a good track to just kind of like train on because it is so technical. There is so many uphills, so many downhills, so many tight turns, so many slower speed sections that it really does provide like a good course to kind of train on. And as you can see right here, I mean, there's just so much deformation, and that's only 2.5. I've spun quite a few laps on this track, maybe 15 laps, 20 laps, something like that. And yeah, I mean, the deformation is just, it's crazy. It deforms so well, and it's so fun to ride with deform. You can see the different lines here from me taking the inside and cutting across and then cutting up and going that way. I mean, it deforms so well. If I get a little wild and come across this way, like cutting through all those ruts just creates so many different line choices, so many different obstacles you got to deal with. I mean, it's an amazing track. So right now we'll jump into it. I am on the Yamaha 250. Let me clean the bike real quick. I'm on the Yamaha 250. I'm still working on a setup, like a perfect setup, but this is what I'm running. Fuel I didn't change because it's an outdoor track. 8100 for the front, 190 for the back, same PSI. I changed the front brake lever to 20 millimeters to get a little bit better stopping power. That is the suspension settings from stock. So the red is going to be stock. The black is going to be what I changed. Drivetrain, I went down one just to get a little bit more out of each gear, but not hinder me too much. And then I went 148 and 2 on the swing arm length just to provide a little bit more stability. I'm still messing around with mapping, whether I like the hard hitting or the smooth or stock. Still kind of messing around with it and figuring out what I like. But so let's jump into this and we will get to ripping. But yeah, this track is absolutely amazing. I can't remember off the top of my head right now who made the track. I will put it in editing who made it. I'll put it up on the screen who made it. But it is truly just it's such a good track, man. It's such a good track. It's definitely difficult. It's definitely a hard track, but it's so fun to ride, and it flows really well. And with the new Beta 18, like uphill physics, it makes these hill climbs not nearly as hard as it probably would have been in Beta 17. But yeah, man, this track is so good. I rode this track a little bit yesterday on a 450, and it just seemed a little bit overkill, and you didn't really get to shift gears that much. You were kind of just in second the whole time, which, don't get me wrong, I mean, it's a fun it's a fun bike to ride on this track, but it's a little much in my opinion. A 250s makes this track super fun, and it also makes the hills a little bit easier to climb because you don't have to worry about that wheel spin and then it grabbing traction and looping out, because the 250 just doesn't have that torque like the 450 does. But as you can see, this track deforms really well, and like I said, it's really good for just kind of getting in and working on things that you need to get better at. I think that that's what this track is going to be used a lot by me, at least. I'm going to use this track a lot for just kind of building that skill with, number one, riding on a rough track, and number two, riding on a technical track, because this track is definitely very technical. There's a lot of weird little quirky lines. It's a bumpy track. It's not a very high speed track by any means. It's definitely a slower speed track, and the jumps aren't massive, but they're perfect, man, in my opinion. The jumps are perfect. They don't need to be any bigger. They don't really, if they're any smaller, I would probably have some complaints, but they don't need to be any bigger at all. And there's some tight inside lines that you really, oh my gosh. There's some tight inside lines that you really gotta slow down for. Like this inside line, you really gotta slow down for, really be on your A game and be thinking about what you're doing when you're riding. Especially like this one, you really gotta slow up and check up for it. That downhill's got some nice bumps and divots in it, and the more you ride with the road on too, the more this track's just gonna get messed up and rutted out and jacked up. But that definitely just helps with building that skill as well when the track is rough. Yeah, there's a lot of slow speed sections. I could probably be tripling down that, but on a 250 it's kind of a stretch sometimes, and I've noticed myself crashing. So right now I'm honestly just trying to put in smooth laps and not ride crazy fast or crazy like good or anything. I'm just trying to build that skill and put in some laps here. And the deformation on this track is so good, man. I know I keep talking about it, but it's so good. Like, I haven't played a track recently that just has like super good deformation like this track does. I feel like if you got in a lobby with some of your homies or just in a public lobby and you put the deformation even on 2, when you have 5, 6 guys plus riding around this track, dude, this thing's gonna get jacked up and rutted up, and it's gonna get gnarly. I can't wait to play with my homie probably later tonight, and I'll probably end up recording a video. But yeah, man, this track's gonna be definitely fun. And if you find yourself getting frustrated on this track, definitely try and slow down a little bit and really pick the lines apart and focus a little bit on what you're doing, and not try to go around this track super quick. Don't try and be a speed demon around this track, because it's not going to work out in your favor. You really got to slow down, pick your lines. Up hills, you don't want to hammer onto the gas, stuff like that, because it is a technical track. And like I said, after the amount of laps that I've spun, I've definitely got kind of the cornering down and like learned how to brake in the corners and where I need to be braking in the corners and where I need to be coasting, because there's a lot of corners that you can brake into and then kind of just coast through them and around them, and you don't really need to be on the gas or like riding the brake. You can kind of just coast through it and you'll still make it with the speed that you have, even if you're coming in a little bit quick. But yeah, if you find yourself running, okay, well, I've spun 14 laps, it just popped up. But yeah, if you're finding yourself getting frustrated with this track, definitely just try and slow down, pick your lines, ride it smart, and just, yeah, don't try and be a speed demon around this track, because I've noticed that when I ride smart and more choosy about my lines and really focusing on when I'm getting on the gas and when I'm braking and when I'm shifting and all that kind of stuff, I end up putting down a faster lap time than if I just go balls to the wall and try and go as fast as I can, because you're just going to end up crashing with this track. It's too technical to be riding like a bat out of hell, but in any game that I've played, I've always liked this track. It's always a tighter track in a lot of the games I've played. I haven't played, or I don't play Sim, but I've seen videos on Sim with this track, and I've seen people play it. I used to play a lot of MxGP back in the day, and this track on there was always a super tight track, and it was always so fun to ride because it was technical, it was hard to pass people, it was hard to pick your lines, and oh god, I almost freaking wadded it right there. It was hard to pick your lines, hard to find places to pass people, hard to figure out how much gas you need to be giving it up the hills. See, that's what happens once this track starts to get a little rutted out. You give it a little too much gas, or you get cross-rutted a little bit, and man, that is all she wrote. But yeah, this track is super good, and like I said, it's good for building that skill because it is so technical, so you are able to build a lot of skill both for Supercross and other outdoor tracks, because I mean, Supercross, you do need that throttle management, that corner braking management, that just everything. Like, Supercross is so technical, and it's so, you have to be on your A game, and everything basically has to be pretty precise, or else you're going down, or you're not going to clear the next rhythm, or you're not going to clear the rhythm you're trying to clear, or whatever. So this track is definitely good for building up that skill. And I've been really liking this Yamaha 250, actually. I'm kind of surprised. I don't really ever ride 250s that often. I mostly am on 450s most of the time, especially when I'm trying to ride Supercross. I'm not the greatest at Supercross, so I'm mostly riding 450s when I'm on Supercross, and when I'm on an outdoor track, I'm mostly just riding 450s as well. I just like them. I like that power, and yeah, man, that's just what I'm on. Like, that's what I ride. But for this track, man, the 250 is really, I'm growing to like it. I might need to be trying this thing out on more tracks, because I'm really starting to like it, and especially this Yamaha. It's so stable. I did quite a bit, coming in a little hot, gonna hit the top block, gonna try and downside that. I've been trying, or I changed the suspension a little bit, but even stock, the suspension is still, it's really good on this bike. It's not too bad on this bike. You don't really need to do that much to it. For me personally, this is the suspension that I've found for this track that's not bad. I still need to do a little bit of changing to some things and just kind of do some testing and spin a lot more laps on this track. But so far, this is probably the most stable I've gotten the bike to be, and not be bouncing all over the place and feeling all weird and jumpy and just odd. So I'm definitely happy with the way this is feeling right now, but I do need to do a little bit more tuning to it. But for the time being, I'm just going to ride with it the way it is and try and get used to the setup that I'm on, because if I continue to change setups, it's just going to end up screwing me up, and I'll never get used to that setup. So I'm going to just try and stick with the setup that I'm on right now. But yeah, man, this track is so good. It's really, really, really good. And yeah, I wanted to post this video, hopefully not make it too long, but post this video on this track. I want to start making YouTube videos and start making content. I play Call of Duty, so maybe I'll start posting some of those videos and posting content on that as well. But I like MxBikes as well, and there's quite a few people that post content on here, but there's a lot of content sometimes that I'm looking for that other people don't necessarily post all the time, so maybe I can be the person who ends up posting that kind of content. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts, if I should start making more videos, if you like the way I make videos, if you think I should post more. And obviously, like and subscribe, it helps out a bunch. Obviously I have no subscribers right now, but like and subscribe, it helps. I'm trying to build a following, and yeah, man, I like playing games, and so I figured I'd post videos because maybe you guys will enjoy watching me play games. I don't know. We'll see. see what happens. But yeah, man, this track is super good. It deforms super good. I'm probably going to be throwing an edit out on this track soon. I'll probably end up working on an edit after I'm done editing this video and posting it, because this track is just so sick, and I think it would look so cool with how jacked up it is right now and how rutted it is, just making a sweet little outdoor edit, because I don't have any outdoor edits right now. I currently just have a bunch of getting all over the place. I have a bunch of Supercross edits. Also, I just am now realizing I don't have my controller overlay on. Okay, so welcome back. I turned on the controller overlay. Sorry about that. I did not realize that was off. I had it off because I was recording other gameplay and I did not want that controller overlay on. So I'm in 4th, going to 3rd, maybe even 2nd. Jesus, get up the hill. But yeah, I didn't want the controller overlay on, so I turned it off, but sorry about that. So I turned it back on. I also realized I need to get rid of the stock game shifter in the bottom, because I have the speed and shifter in the bottom already, so I'll definitely be doing that. Don't you worry about that. But yeah, I'm gonna try and post videos frequently. Try and get a video maybe once every 2 days, I would like. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts on what you want me to be posting and what kind of games you like. And every video is not going to be like this of me just ranting on and on. I'll play games with friends, I'll shoot the shit, kind of have this be like a little bit of a podcast kind of thing, talk about what's going down and just hang out, shoot the shit, make people laugh, have fun. That's kind of what I'm on here to do. I enjoy playing games, so maybe I could share that with everyone else and they'll enjoy watching me play games and you can get a laugh and stuff like that. But yeah, if you guys want setups on the bikes that I run, feel free to let me know and I'll do videos on that. Feel free to let me know if you want my settings that I play on. I play in 3rd person. I know a lot of people play in 1st. I'm a 3rd person player. I've put like 460 hours or something into this game, and every single minute of that has all been 3rd person, so I've just learned to play in 3rd person and gotten pretty quick-ish in 3rd person, so that's where I play. So if you want to see my 3rd person settings and controller settings and all that kind of stuff, please feel free to let me know in the comments and I'll do videos on that. If I post a video and there's a bike in it and you want to know the setup, I'll try and say the setups at the beginning of each video of the bike that I'm on and what bike I'm on. But if I don't for some reason or whatever and you want to know the setup, let me know in the comments and I'd be glad to make a video on that and or walk you guys through how I kind of learn a track, or walk you guys through kind of how I but kind of how I build my bike setups. I definitely don't take advice from me on building bike setups. I don't build perfect bike setups. I build setups that work for me and that I can ride on well. I have a little bit different riding style and I play in 3rd person, so my setups are a little bit different. So if you want to use my setups, definitely feel free. But yeah, so I'll leave a link to the gear. I'll leave a link to the gear and the livery for the bike, or the graphics kit for the bike that I'm on, and also leave a link for the this track if you guys want to download any of that, any of the gear that I am running, any of the or the bike that I'm running, or you guys want to download this track, whatever. I am playing in an online lobby right now. I just made it private so I can play, just so I'm able to change the erode, because I like to be able to put erode on and not have to go into the damn files of the game and crap to do it. So yeah, that's how I'm doing that. And yeah, just let me know your guys' thoughts on this video. If you want me to continue posting more, whatever, etc., etc., just let me know. And like I said again, that cringy YouTuber, leave a like and comment and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.